Hi, I'm Yashni, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and stuff they're sharing around the world. On Newsfeed today, the royal rumble that's got the world talking, but how much of a role did the British media play in Harry and Meghan walking away from the royal family? Microsoft CEO criticizes India's Citizenship Amendment Act, but government supporters say the media is misreporting his comments. A South African NGO lays the foundations for a project to turn non-recyclables into building materials. And King of the Jungle or King of Fools, the Swiss animal lover was joined a pride of lions. It's the news story the world just can't seem to get enough of. The war in Syria, unrest in Libya, a possible third world war between the US and Iran? Nope, it's the tale of a married couple. The man's decided to leave his family home and fortune to carve out a new life over the sea in a faraway land known as Canada. And the internet is gripped. Now, considering the way Harry and Meghan have been treated by some members of the British media, it's understandable they want to distance themselves. Even politicians have weighed in on the matter. British Home Secretary Priti Patel saying she doesn't think the media has been racist towards Meghan. Not everyone agrees, though, and there are plenty of headlines showing the discrimination aimed at the Duchess of Sussex compared to other royals. Adama has more.
The British monarch says she's entirely supportive of Prince Harry and Meghan's desire for a new role. But the Queen says there is still a lot to work out and agree on. Her grandson and his wife dropped a bombshell on Instagram last week. They say they plan to step back as senior royals and carve out a new, more independent role. The surprise announcement raised a serious question about their motivation. Both Harry and Meghan have spoken of the difficulties of royal life and media coverage. And there appears to be a double standard when it comes to media coverage of Meghan.
I think Meghan and Harry are deciding to step back because they have had enough of the racism from the British press and not enough support and respect from the royal family in that regard.
Compare these headlines of Meghan and her sister-in-law Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, on topics from pregnancy to style and yes, even avocados. Or take these two on the choice of flowers from the Daily Express. Its piece on Meghan's wedding flowers was published more than a year after her wedding. Meghan has also been described as having exotic DNA in the Daily Mail. And her baby son was depicted as a monkey by a BBC radio presenter. But there's been pushback.
Her newborn baby
is her DNA not exotic by royal standards? She was the first mixed-race person to ever enter the royal family.
This is the context.
Why is the word exotic? Why do you take exception to the word exotic?
Because it others her and associates her with a history.
She's an African-American joining a white royal family.
As other and
the word exotic is not derogatory.
But I look at her and I don't think I'd like you in real life. You're just that awful, woke, weak, manipulative, spoilt.
The hashtag Mexit is arguably problematic. It insinuates Meghan's influenced Harry to break away from his family, and their decision is not one of two married adults. No doubt, media scrutiny comes with the job. It's helped establish the bond between the royal family and the public, which has ensured the monarchy's survival. That's not to say the trade-off has always seemed fair to all of the royals. Just on Monday, Princes Harry and William criticised a newspaper report that suggested their relationship had broken down. The brothers called it inflammatory and offensive. But when it comes to Meghan, can we really say that it's been fair?
Let's have a look now at some other things that caught our eye on social media.
So that people can bung a bob for being Ben Bong, because there are some people who want to
bung.
I haven't quite worked it out.
haven't quite worked it out. Nope, Boris Johnson wasn't referring to Brexit. He was talking about the ringing of Big Ben on the 31st of January to mark Britain officially leaving the EU. Now, the bells haven't chimed since 2017, and it will cost almost $650,000 to fix. MPs say that's simply too expensive, but the Prime Minister hopes the public can help out by bunging a bob for a big bang bong. Try saying that 5 times fast. Now, what does that even mean, Bojo? Doubt he even knows. And yes, Britain, that's your leader. Don't bung it up, Boris.
Michael, I've known you since you were a child. You're a gift. You always have. If there's an answer to your disease, you'll find it.
The trailer for Marvel's latest offering is out. Morbius is rather about a doctor dying of a rare blood disorder, but finds a cure that turns him into a pseudo-vampire. Joy, another vampire movie. Fight me. However, the interwebs are very excited because Jared Leto is playing the title role, and apparently the film is littered with clues that show and links to the Spider-Man franchise. Confusing for us non-Marvel fans, but I'm sure most of you will know exactly what they're referring to. And if you don't, you'll have to wait until July for the movie's release. Now, Microsoft CEO has been trending on Indian Twitter for criticizing the Citizenship Amendment Act. The law doesn't allow Muslims from neighboring countries to become Indian citizens. Satyanadella says he's sad about what's happening in his homeland. But many government supporters say his comments have been misreported. Here's Ishan with more details.
The whole controversy broke out when Satyanadella was interacting with a number of journalists, reporters and editors at an event in Manhattan. He talked about how he was saddened by what was happening in India, and he was speaking in relation to the new citizenship law passed by the Indian Parliament in 2019. He said that his success as the CEO of Microsoft was molded by his Indian heritage and also by his American experience. Some people on Twitter were supportive of his views. Like one Twitter user here said, when education meets courage, when the feeling of constitutionalism meets rationality, when being Indian meets justice, when nationalism refers to equality in the land of supremacy of constitution, the outcome is this. While some were supportive of Nadella's comments on the new law, others were not so supportive. Mohandas Pai, the ex-chief financial officer of Infosys, a major tech firm in India, said that Nadella was perhaps misinformed. He tweeted saying, yes, he is very confused in his statement. Must be the Indian leftist academics in the US who have confused him by misinformation. We respect you as Microsoft CEO, and you must not make comments to malign India. Hours after the controversy broke online, Microsoft tweeted an official statement from Satyanadella. This led to a number of hilarious memes on Twitter. Some people say that this has left the Indian online community in splits. The right-wing community and the left-wing community both at the same time are trying to appropriate Satyanadella's words for their own benefits.
Here's a public service announcement for all you Windows 7 users. It's time to upgrade. Microsoft is ending support for all those still using the software. And yes, there are still plenty of people out there who are attached to this program. Here's how you can make the change and enter the 21st century. You're welcome. Let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Tuesday. Now, last year was a record for the world's oceans, but not the good kind. Our seas were warmer in 2019 than any other time in recorded history. Temperatures have been increasing every year for the past 5 years. So, how hot are the oceans? Well, scientists say it's about 5 Hiroshima bombs of heat every second, day and night, 365 days a year. Just let that sink in for a moment. Now, something else that's being blamed on the climate crisis is the extreme water levels in Venice. Just 2 months ago, 2/3 of the city was underwater. Now, the tides are so low that many canals are running dry and boats have been beached. Transport for locals and visitors has also been affected. And it's a showdown between Apple and the US Justice Department. The Attorney General wants Apple to give it access to phones used by the gunman in December's attack at a naval base in Pensacola. But the tech giant won't budge. It says it's already given investigators access to some of the gunman's accounts and that data privacy is a human right. But the US argues Apple is protecting criminals. An organization in South Africa has found a novel way to use material that can't be recycled. It's turning trash into the building blocks of new buildings and homes and bringing a bit of color to the community.
So making eco-bricks as a temporary solution is very important to see it as a temporary solution so that we really can focus on the bigger problems, the source problem, not just, the problem that there's waste around us and that it's not very nice to look at, but rather dealing with the root of it, that producing these types of non-recyclables isn't right, and that we need to be looking at either alternative products, packaging, or alternative systems where these products are being supported and either recycled or reused.
It is very colorful, and that the children learn all different kinds of colors of the eco bricks. And we first used to throw it away into bins, but now I can see what you can all out of the eco block, the bottles and all the papers. You can buy all kinds of stuff with it.
And in Animals Doing Stuff, the story of a Swiss boy who went to South Africa to become part of a pride and gain a hyena for a wife. Let me explain. This is Dean Schneider, animal lover, philanthropist, and possible crazy person. Having a pride of lions jump all over you? Kids, don't try this at home. Now, these videos are probably the reason tourists think they can go to South Africa and play with lions. No, you will die. But to his credit, this lion-hearted 28-year-old does seem to have a good rapport with the animals, and he's doing what he can to help protect wildlife. His next trip is to Australia, where I'm sure you'll find some kangaroos and koalas to cuddle. That's all from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints, and suggestions at Yash Petty. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. That's it from me. Until the next time, take care and goodbye.